Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely drained, even though nothing obviously bad happened? Or spent an entire evening trying to figure out what someone meant by 3 words they said, running the interaction over and over in your head? Or felt somehow responsible for fixing someone else's mood, even though their mood had nothing to do with you? In James Redfield's book, The Celestine Prophecy, there is a concept that explains most of what is exhausting about human relationships. He calls them control dramas. A control drama is an unconscious, learned behavior we run to pull energy toward ourselves from other people. Not because we are bad people, because somewhere along the way, usually in childhood, we learned that this particular strategy worked. There are 4 of them: the Intimidator, the Interrogator, the Aloof, and the poor me. Most of us run at least one. Many of us have been on the receiving end of all 4, and once you can name them, once you can see the pattern in real time, you cannot unsee it. Tonight on Words with Wentz, we are going to name all 4. Episode 51 is going to teach you how to break them, but you have to be able to see them first. The first control drama is the most obvious and the most uncomfortable to be around. The Intimidator steals energy through fear, through anger, volume, threats, and the constant low-level sense that if you do not comply, if you do not focus your attention and energy on this person right now, something bad is going to happen. You know this one. It is the partner who slams a door the moment a disagreement starts, the parent who goes instantly to fury over something small, the coworker whose mood fills every room they walk into and whose displeasure everyone scrambles to prevent. Here is how the energy drain works. You bring up something minor, a chore left undone, a plan that changed, and suddenly the conversation is no longer about the chore. It is about how hard they work, how unappreciated they are, how unfair everything is, and the volume is rising. Within minutes, you have dropped the original issue entirely. You are now managing their emotional state. Your energy, your attention, your concern, your focus has transferred completely to them. That is exactly what the drama accomplished. The Intimidator does not usually know they are doing this. That is what Redfield means by unconscious. It is a strategy that worked, probably in childhood, probably in a household where volume or fear was how needs got met. The adult version is the same pattern running on autopilot, and the subconscious message underneath all of it is simple. If you do not focus on me, something bad is going to happen. Your energy follows your fear. The drama wins. The second control drama is more subtle, but just as exhausting. The Interrogator does not use anger. They use questions, criticism, the relentless implication that you are somehow doing it wrong, that your choices are suspect, your judgment is poor, your performance requires constant monitoring, you walk in the door after grocery shopping. Before you can set down the bags, why did you buy that brand? Did you get a coupon? Why did it take you so long? Did you forget the milk? None of these questions are technically aggressive. They might even be framed as helpfulness. But within 30 seconds, you're on the defensive, explaining yourself, justifying your choices, scanning for what you did wrong this time. That defensive energy, that anxious scrambling for approval, is exactly what the Interrogator's drama is designed to produce. The moment you get defensive, your energy flows toward them. Their subconscious message, you are incompetent, and you need to justify yourself to me. The Interrogator is often the partner who frames control as concern, the parent who calls it caring, the manager who says they just have high standards. And here is the paired dynamic Redfield describes. Children who grow up with Interrogator parents often become aloof, because they learned early that if they do not say anything, the questions have nothing to twist. That coping strategy becomes their own drama in adult relationships. The dramas create each other. That is how families pass them down. The third control drama does not make noise. It makes silence. The aloof withdraws. They go vague. They shut down and become hard to reach. Not because they genuinely need space, but because the withdrawal itself is how they pull energy toward themselves. You have seen this. Your partner is clearly upset. You can feel it, the silence, the crossed arms, the heavy sighs. You ask what is wrong. Nothing, I'm fine. And then they leave the room. What happens next is the drama working exactly as designed. You spend the rest of the evening in your head. Did I say something? What did I do? Should I go after them, give them space? You are completely absorbed in trying to figure out what you did wrong and how to fix it, even though nothing has been said. Your attention, your worry, your energy, all of it is now focused entirely on them. The Aloof's subconscious message, I am out of reach. If you want my energy, you have to work for it. Redfield describes this as the master of stonewalling, using silence as both a shield and a magnet simultaneously. And it works precisely because most people cannot tolerate the discomfort of unresolved disconnection. We chase, we coax, we apologize for things we are not even sure we did. The drama depends entirely on the other person refusing to let the silence stand. Next episode, we talk about what happens when you do. The fourth control drama is the most passive, and in some ways the hardest to spot because it wears the face of genuine suffering. The poor me uses guilt, helplessness, the consistent implication that they are the ultimate victim, that the world is uniquely stacked against them, that their burdens are heavier than anyone else's, and that your job is to feel responsible for their misery and do something about it. You come home from a brutal day at work. You say, honestly, I am exhausted. Must be nice to just be tired. I've been dealing with a migraine and the broken dishwasher all day, and honestly, I feel like nobody in this house even cares if I live or die. Your exhaustion just disappeared. Not because it went away, but because the conversation is now entirely about comforting them. You set aside your own need the moment guilt entered the room. That is the poor me drama working exactly as designed. Its subconscious message, look at how I suffer. You need to take care of me and feel bad about what I am going through. The Intimidator, poor me. Pairing is one of the most common relationship dynamics Redfield describes. The aggressive partner drives the energy. The passive partner handles it by becoming helpless, and then uses that helplessness to generate guilt. It is a closed loop, and both people are trapped in it. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The poor me is not always consciously manipulative. They may genuinely feel victimized. The drama does not require bad intent. It just requires a strategy that once worked and never got replaced. 4 dramas: the Intimidator who steals energy through fear, the Interrogator who steals it through criticism, the Aloof who steals it through withdrawal, and the poor me who steals it through guilt. Here's what they all have in common. None of them require the person running the drama to be a bad person. They are unconscious. They were learned, usually early, usually in a household where this was the only model available, and they worked, which is exactly why they got repeated. Redfield's insight, the one that makes this framework so useful, is that naming the drama is the first act of breaking it, not diagnosing the other person, not confronting them with the label, but recognizing the pattern in real time, being able to say to yourself, I see what is happening here, I see the script, and I can choose not to play my part, because every control drama requires a cast of 2. The Intimidator needs someone who yields to fear. The Interrogator needs someone who gets defensive. The Aloof needs someone who chases. The poor me needs someone who takes the guilt. When you see the drama, you can step out of your assigned role. And when you do, when the drama does not get the response it was designed to produce, it loses its power. In episode 51, we go through exactly how to do that, each drama. Specific language, what to say, how to say it, and why it works. But you have to see it first, and now you can. This is Words with Wentz. Know yourself.